Hey, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my new favorite amp, the EddieWang Polaris. The Polaris is an all-original design, built from the ground up by EddieWang, and it features two EL34 power tubes. It's also got a wattage control to go from 1 all the way up to 30 watts. It uses a unique trick using a 12AU7 to behave like a pentode to give you some increased harmonic content and sweeter compression. It also features a tuned baffle using an inset sapele hardwood ring into the birch front baffle that the speaker attaches to. This gives a little extra texture and push for big grand piano-like lows. The rest of the cabinet construction is made from solid pine, finger jointed on all sides. And if you like tweaking, the Polaris lets you use any 12A7 type tube in either position in the preamp stage. Swapping different types of preamp tubes in these positions is like giving you multiple amps in one. So for this demo, I'm going to be using my PRS to get both humbucker and single coil tones. I'm plugging directly into the Polaris and there'll be no post-processing. I'm miking with a 57 and an SE Electronics SE7. So before we get into dialing in the different types of sounds that you can get out of this Polaris amp, because it can cover so much ground, let's listen to the extremes of each parameter just so that we have an idea of what bounds we're working within. So for this, I'll go between the neck humbucker and the bridge humbucker on the PRS. So everything's set kind of at 11 o'clock here, and the charm switch is in the middle position. So let's first hear the charm switch in each of the three settings. And then we'll go to the up position. And then in the down position. So in the down position, in my opinion, it's the richest, most harmonically rich setting. And then in the up position, we lose a little bit of low end and a little bit of top end, and it makes it a little more mid-focused. In the middle position, it seems to be the most neutral. So we're going to leave it in the middle position on the charm switch moving forward. Let's back the input volume down, and we'll crank the wattage a little bit and listen to how clean and broken up it can be without touching the top and bottom controls yet. And then we'll crank that input volume. We're going to back the wattage control down just a hair. That's a lot of gain. Now we can increase some of that gain by pushing the top and the bottom, and we go to this richer bottom position in the charm switch. That is such a wide range of gain on such a simple circuit. And with that, we're able to retain the same loudness level with that wattage control, which is such an invaluable thing. I can turn it down to where it's not going to totally clip the mic pre's, but it can still be cranked and pushing those power amp tubes. Now, if we leave it in the down position on the charm switch, and we back this bottom control down quite a bit, this is what I would consider the AC30 killer setting. It's all the chime and all the charm that you would want from that type of circuit with this incredible low end that this cabinet offers in the Polaris. Now, if we bring the bottom up, and let's change the charm position to the up position, we'll back the top down just a little bit. This is what I would consider the tweed fender killer setting. We've got that like beautifully flubby low end that's not giving out, but it's just overloading a little bit, especially if we push this to the extremes. We're going to go to the middle charm setting now. That low end is perfect. It's perfect for a mix. It retains the low mids, but the low end stays present, but gives you that tweed fender type thing. Now, if we go back to the richest, in my opinion, charm switch setting in the down position, we keep the bottom high and we bring a little bit of that top in. This, I'm gonna push the wattage control a little bit. This, I think splits the difference and enters into a maybe British Marshall territory. That is really the sound of this amp. It's not that this amp is a modeling or emulating amp by any means, but the fact that it can do the ultimate chimey thing, the ultimate tweed thing, and then have a really beautiful clean voice of its own and a beautiful cranked voice of its own makes this one of the most versatile amps on the market. And I think it comes down to the simplicity and intentionality of the circuit. Every component matters, and every setting matters because they all interact with each other. Bringing the bottom up doesn't just change the low end, it changes the character of the front end of the preamp. And this is all due to the genius of Eddie Wang and his ground up circuit. and I think it's supported by this baffle. When I say this thing sounds bigger and louder than my 212 EV cab, it's ridiculous. This competes with a 412 every day of the week. And being a 112 EL34 based combo that can cover all this ground, and again, at no point did I feel like, man, I really missed having delay or reverb. For me, that is a humongous accomplishment to be able to feel comfortable enough with an amp to play it dry, kind of in any setting. I would feel comfortable showing up to sit in almost any situation plugging directly into this amp. That's hard to say about all the other amps that I have and many of the amps that I've played before. So all props to Eddie on this design. I am looking forward to working together more in the future. And if you get an opportunity to check out either a Quantum Zen or a Polaris, I highly encourage you to do so. I find this amp incredibly inspiring to play, and I think you would too. The link will be down in the description below to find more information about Eddie's amps. And until next time, I've been Colin.